Hello, I'm Shadow Raccoon, and welcome to a new series, Furry Cartoon History, where I'll be taking a look at those cartoons we just loved during our childhood and that had totally no influence on us in our later years. In today's episode, I'm going to be taking a look at classic cartoon The Raccoons, which I didn't pick for any particular reason at all. No, none. So this much-loved Canadian cartoon series started in 1979 as an idea, spawned a couple of TV specials, and in 1985 it got turned into an actual TV series. As the popularity of the cartoon soared, and of course through a lot of successful syndication around the world, this cartoon just became a staple of so many people's childhood mornings. I mean, I remember watching it myself, and, it was pretty good. Every episode, of course, because it was an 80s TV programme, had to have, unfortunately, a bit of a moral message. And the Raccoons, naturally being in a nature setting, did tend to go for the environmental message. And of course, that was quite popular in the 80s. You had a lot of things coming on board about global warming, pollution, and that. I mean, obviously, it was all with good intentions. Unfortunately, it did make the show sound maybe a tad preachy or a little bit pretentious. That's probably one of the big criticisms I had of it. But other than, having the environmental message, you've got lots of talk about teamwork and friendship, the sort of things you would expect in a child's TV programme these days. But hey, the animation was lovely, so we can let them off. The episode's primarily focused around Bert Raccoon and his bent muzzle, which, won't lie, looked a little painful. But hey, he'd get up to lots of misadventures, and of course you got to meet Lisa Raccoon, Ralph Raccoon, there was a sheepdog, he had an aardvark friend, I think it was Cedric. And then, of course, as every cartoon needs to have, it had your main protagonists. And in this case, they had an evil aardvark, Cyril Sneer. He was hell-bent on getting rich and just wanted to totally destroy the forest. And for some reason, especially in seasons 4 and 5, became considerably less evil. So, I don't... And that was when the programme, I think, really started to get even more preachy, I think, actually. But, I mean, it led itself to some nice episodes. There was some kind of, racing ones. There was ones about, Olympic events, and they were all trying to compete with each other. And it was just good fun to watch in general. And the character combinations were really nice. So, if you could get past those tropes, I actually would say this is still quite watchable today. And hey, it's actually, you could tell that people still agree because it's got a DVD release, and that's over in Europe, and that's interesting because there's a lot of old cartoons from that era which are just completely vanished. Still, it had fantastic animation. I mean, ignoring Bert's nose, which I'm going to get onto in a minute because I want to cover that, I would probably say they did a really good job of anthropomorphizing the animals. You can, there's a really lovely raccoon shape. The aardvarks are a bit odd, but I mean, aardvarks just look odd in general. I mean, I went to the zoo a little while back and saw an aardvark, and to be honest with you, it just kind of creeped me out. But, try drawing one. Is there any aardvarks in the fandom even? Maybe from this programme. If you're an aardvark, leave a comment below. I'll say hi. But I would say it was really cute. It was nicely hand-drawn. And it didn't result to the Hanna-Barbera of just repeating the same background over and over again, which, of course, we all know from the Flintstones. So there's a lot to love there. So yeah, that bit on Bert's nose. Why was it bent? I googled this, actually, and all I could find was information about how to adjust my muzzle and, to improve it, to make it look better, and beauty clinics. I couldn't find anyone actually telling me why they chose to do it. I mean, a lot of people were asking, why was it bent? It's a very popular thing, but no one actually ever answered it, and I think the animators probably should have covered it. I mean, did it get caught in a door? Was it like if you took your fursuit head on a plane and then you got forced to stuff it into the overhead lockers, and then some woman comes along with a massive rollaway bag, shoves it up there, and then squishes your head? Did that happen to him? Did he get put in an overhead bin? We don't know. But unfortunately, because the creators would never go on record to show it, he's just left with this bent muzzle with no reason, and it is probably a bit of a negative in a way that he had this bent muzzle because it just looked silly. I mean, it's iconic. You knew it was Bert. I guess you could argue they did it for that reason, but I mean, how many raccoons have you seen with bent muzzles. It's just weird and strange, and I don't agree with it. Boo. Of course, you can't talk about the Raccoons without mentioning the music. If you liked new wave music in the 80s, then wow, the Raccoons are the treat for you. Amongst having other hit songs snuck into the tracks every so often, you of course had its signature song right at the end of every episode, Run With Us by Lisa Lockheed. Hey, she felt confident enough to release this as a single. It had a music video, everything else. It was part of an album. Didn't do fantastically well, and I'm not going to lie, I googled her name as well making this, and she doesn't seem to be singing anymore, which is a shame because I really love the song. For those of you who might not have seen the music video, here's what it looks like. Really catchy. It's going to be stuck in your head all day. It's going to be stuck in mine now. It already was before I started this, so you know. When the show came to its inevitable end in the 90s, you could look back and say, well, it's had 5 successful seasons, it's been syndicated everywhere, it still airs on one random TV channel over here, believe it or not, every so often. Hard to believe. So it's really, really easy to argue that this has had a lot of influence on people across the years, and it's fantastic. And I'm pretty sure some of you watching this probably did see this as a kid, and it probably did have an influence on you. It definitely impacted me. It's probably the first times I was ever even exposed to raccoons, which is fantastic. We don't have a lot of raccoons over here, so, you know, it's great to kind of be shown all these new characters, and obviously the other Amphro characters in it too definitely would probably implant some ideas in your head. Is there a future? Will there be a reboot of this? There does seem to be this fad going around right now of let's reboot anything that's 80s or anything that's even 90s and kind of slap some CGI paintwork onto it and call it done. There was, believe it or not, from the creator, he actually put a video up on YouTube of kind of like a pilot of a new version of it, but it got taken down because of content ID. Yeah, I know. Yeah. You know, so there is the chance. Personally, I don't know if I want another Raccoons because I liked the one we had. It's kind of, maybe it is just because it was part of my childhood, but I just, generally speaking, these remakes never seem to go anywhere, and they had a fantastic time. It was a massive success, and I just don't think you'd recapture that. Still, I'm Shadow Raccoon, and thanks for watching Furry Cartoon History, my review of the Raccoons. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like, subscribe, share. If you've got an idea of what cartoon I should take a look into next, please leave a comment below. And hey, if you're feeling like you should buy me a shiny, there's a link for that down in the description as well. I'm Shadow Raccoon, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.